Have you ever found yourself struggling to reach your goals no matter how hard you try? It might be because you have some self-sabotaging habits, and they are secretly eroding your self-confidence. Our confidence is heavily influenced by how we live our lives. And let's face it, to succeed in anything, we need a solid foundation of self-confidence. It's a game changer. Self-confidence is a tricky thing to define, but you can definitely recognize it when you see it. It's all about believing in yourself, your abilities, and your judgment. And it has a huge impact on every aspect of our lives. From how we see ourselves and how others see us, to how we perform in school or at work, confidence plays a major role. Now, we know that things like social anxiety can make it hard to feel confident, but it's not always the only reason. Believe it or not, there might be little habits we're not even aware of that are secretly chipping away at our self-assurance. That's what we'll be sharing with you in this video. We'll discuss the 10 habits that can really kill your self-confidence so you'll know if you've developed them. And if so, take it as a sign that it's time to break them. Number 1. You keep comparing yourself to others and thinking they are better than you. You've been there, right? The point where you're scrolling through your social media feed and you can't help but notice how others seem to be hitting milestones faster than you. Maybe they own a fancy house, got their dream job, or enjoy a picture-perfect relationship while you're struggling with dating and making ends meet. It's natural to feel a twinge of jealousy, insecurity, or even anger as you compare yourself to these people who seem to have it all. But take a step back and ask yourself, is the situation really as bad as it seems? Because chances are, it's not. And you actually have so many things you can be grateful for. Comparing ourselves to others is something we all naturally do. And the truth is, our brains are wired to notice differences and make judgments. But here's the thing. If we let this habit run wild, it can really mess with our self-confidence. We might even start feeling jealous or resentful of other people's achievements. So let's try something different. Instead of focusing on what makes us similar or different from others, let's focus on what makes us awesome in our own unique ways. Remember, everyone's journey is different, even if it seems similar on the surface. So let's embrace our individuality and celebrate the diverse paths we're all on. Number 2, you let others decide on things for you. When someone tries to tell you what you should do or pressures you into doing things their way, it can really shake your confidence. And it's even worse when they try to control or manipulate you as if they hold the strings to your happiness. But you have to remember this. Your confidence can't thrive if you're not sure about what you want or if you doubt the importance of your own opinions. Real confidence comes from being true to yourself and expressing your aspirations in a way that empowers you. It's about listening to that inner voice, that compass that guides you toward your true north. And it's about trusting yourself completely, even when the path ahead may seem uncertain and daunting. Number 3, you compliment others excessively. It's great to praise others for various reasons, right? When you go overboard with praise for others, you're basically saying they're better than you. While it's important to uplift others, it's just as crucial to avoid diminishing yourself by constantly comparing and undervaluing your own worth. That's why instead of getting caught in a cycle of excessive praise towards others and self-deprecation, take a moment to acknowledge and appreciate your own gifts and talents. Remember that we all have different strengths and weaknesses. In fact, it's our uniqueness that allows us to stand out from the crowd. So, start embracing the fact that you have special qualities that make you who you are. In fact, never forget to celebrate your positive traits. Number 4, instead of leaving, you stay in relationships that are toxic. Confidence is really influenced by the relationships we have in our lives. You know, the way we think and feel about ourselves is shaped by the people around us. Whether it's our family, friends, coworkers, or even acquaintances, they all have a big impact on our self-esteem. If we're constantly getting criticized and put down, it really takes a toll on our confidence. But you know what? The opposite is true too. When we're surrounded by people who uplift us and believe in us, it really boosts our self-confidence. So it's important to take a step back and really think about how healthy our relationships are. Surrounding ourselves with positive individuals who genuinely care about us and our well-being as much as their own is an important factor in being confident. Number 5, you don't put an effort to look good. Here's a hard truth. Neglecting how you look is like disregarding your own self-worth. Ultimately, you won't like what you see in the mirror. And when you're not satisfied with how you look, it can really affect your confidence, especially in social situations where you're interacting with others. But here's the thing. Taking care of your hygiene and appearance is actually important for feeling good about yourself and boosting your confidence. It may seem a bit superficial, but even just putting in a little effort to dress up can make a big difference. Plus, it contributes to a greater sense of confidence and fulfillment. So remember, it's not just about looking good, it's about feeling good too. Take care of yourself, and you'll see the positive impact it can have on your overall well-being, including your confidence. By the way, make sure to subscribe if you've learned something new today. Number 6. You talk about what you think are your weaknesses. Finding the right balance between self-deprecation and going too far can be tricky. On one hand, it's great to show that you're down to earth by poking fun at yourself and not taking yourself too seriously. But on the other hand, too much self-deprecation can come across as insecurity. It's important to be mindful of how often you make negative remarks about yourself, as people may start questioning your true abilities. When discussing weaknesses, especially in a professional setting like a job interview, it's crucial to reframe the narrative. Instead of dwelling on your weaknesses, focus on your eagerness to learn new skills and excel in areas beyond your natural strengths. By acknowledging areas for improvement, you show that you're proactive and always looking to grow. Number 7, you lower your standards. When you compromise your standards and settle for less than you deserve, you're pretty much saying that you're just accepting whatever comes your way, even if it's less than what you know you deserve. Sure, lowering your standards might give you some temporary comfort and convenience, but in the long run, it really messes with your self-confidence. And you know what's worse? It doesn't actually solve any problems. It just makes them worse or even add more problems. Plus, it sets a dangerous precedent. Because once you start lowering your standards in one area, it becomes easier to do it in others too. Now, it's true that we might not have the same values, but sticking to your own set of standards will bring you more happiness and confidence. Trust us on this one. Number 8, you apologize excessively, even when it's not your fault. Ever say, "I'm sorry," even when others are clearly at fault for something, like when they bump into you while you're just standing there? While apologies can be meaningful, being overly polite or constantly saying sorry can actually undermine your confidence. What's more, apologizing too much can give others the impression that you lack self-assurance and belief in your own abilities and decisions. Often, that will not make them take you seriously. So, it's important not to apologize for things you know you didn't do. Otherwise, you're putting the blame on yourself and encouraging others to see you as the one at fault. And that's not really fair to you, right? Apologies should be given when necessary, as excessive apologies lessen their impact and importance. Number 9, you get fixated on your flaws. Be honest with us. When you stare at yourself in the mirror, do you ever find yourself immediately noticing the tiniest imperfection in your appearance? And then, does that flaw start to consume your thoughts, growing bigger until it's all you can think about? If that's the case, it's really important for you to stop this harmful habit. It's so damaging to your self-confidence. Maybe you think you're just being honest with yourself. But the reality is that obsessing over your imperfections will only make you feel worse about your own reflection. Engaging in the ritual of self-criticism can really bring you down, making you feel inadequate, sad, and ashamed. And let's be real, those feelings don't exactly foster a confident mindset, right? So here's a thought. Instead of constantly picking apart every little flaw, why not shift your focus to all the amazing things you love about yourself? Now, it might feel a bit strange at first, especially if you're used to being a bit cynical. But with some daily practice, you can totally transform how you see yourself. Embrace this new habit and see how it changes your self-perception and boosts your confidence. Number 10, you believe the negative things you say about yourself. If you're like most people, you might sometimes have negative thoughts about yourself. Sadly, it's easier to believe the negative stuff than the positive. But here's the thing. Dwelling on those thoughts can really bring down your self-confidence. Sure, positive affirmations can help counteract these thought patterns. But you know what's even better? Not taking that negative self-talk too seriously in the first place. It gives you a more objective perspective, which ultimately leads to greater overall happiness and confidence. So let's focus on the good stuff, shall we? And if you like this video, then check out these related videos to see more. And make sure to subscribe and leave a comment saying, "I subscribed," and we will personally reply to your comment.